Welcome back, everybody, to another Red Shirt review. You can call me Red, you can call me Matt, you can call me whatever. I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm going to try to run through this really quickly. Hey, Red, how you doing? No.
Whoa. Hey.
Get out.
Why you scream? Why you getting all mad? I'm just
It's
trying
fast.
to say...
It's fast. It's going to go fast.
Get
out. Nope.
All right. Your milk's bad.
Today we're going to be talking about the newest Sony movie, Morbius, which is the newest addition into their Sony Spider-Man universe, and we're just going to get going. So the story of Morbius, God.
Dr. Michael Morbius is terminally ill with a rare blood disorder. Due to this, he dedicates his life to finding a cure to fix not only himself, but his close friend. After an experimental treatment, Dr. Morbius begins to feel cured of his ailments, but at the cost of his humanity. Now it is up to him to prevent the spread of this darkness while controlling himself in the process.
So all the actors in this movie did fine. They didn't do terrible. The movie was really odd because of the fact that it was a little more melodramatic than it normally should be. Jared Leto's character was fine. He didn't do great, but he didn't do terrible. He did justice to what he was written as. I feel like Jared Leto has a lot of potential in him as an actor, and the character as Michael Morbius is a very fantastic and very interesting character to begin with because of the fact that he is both a vampire and also this kind of anti-hero villain who has a conscience, but he's also a monster at heart. But they didn't do that well enough. People like Matt Smith, who was playing the antagonist Milo, he did probably the best performance in that movie just because of the fact that he had a lot more charisma, he had a lot more energy, he was going crazy with a little bit of the things. It was a little cringy, the CGI that they put not only on his face but on Jared Leto's face when they turned to their vampire versions of themselves. Too angular, very skeletal, which is good because that's what you want to see in a vampire thing. But it was awkward in the sense that it looked like PlayStation 3 graphics. We're going to skip past that. I find it really weird that a lot of critics have been giving this super bad ratings. I mean, even the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes is at a 17%. Can you believe that? But the audience rating is 70%. Who's out here defending this movie? They're like, check it out. There's literally essays upon essays of defense behind this movie on why it's perfect and amazing. And you know what? If you think that 100%, that is okay. You can have your own opinion. You can do whatever you want. This is my opinion. The correct opinion.
Even its release date is a joke. Jesus.
The story itself is very cookie cutter. It sticks very closely to the traditional tropes that you'll see in most superhero movies nowadays with a little bit of spice added into it. There's a lot of elements in this movie that I think would have been very good if they played more into them. Like, for example, they had a quick grab into horror. There was a scene in the hospital where there was a victim who was running away, and the lights in the hallway were motion tracked, and you would see the lights flickering as they got closer to the victim. I honestly loved that scene. If that scene was the entire movie, this movie would have been perfect. It had a lights out quality. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that movie, but it was very fantastic. The thing about the fact that they only slightly dipped their toes into this horror thing means that it was implemented, and it shows that it could have been very good if they went through with it, but they didn't go all the way out with it. Therefore, it's just a missed opportunity that I wish that they could have fixed. The thing is, they probably actually stepped into horror just a little bit more than I'm giving them credit for because they were horrifically bad at how their CGI looked. There was a bunch of weird things and a weird kind of throwaway lines that kind of connected this to the Venom movies that came before this one.
Who the hell are you, man?
I am Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius.
I think they were just a little bit forced. It didn't really make anything add into the movie. It kind of makes you understand as an audience member. It kind of lets you know that this is exactly what kind of universe you're in and all the characters that are surrounding it. But it was more so throwaway, and it took away from the story that was happening at hand rather than building it and emphasizing it. The pacing of the movie was very... Bruh. You good? That's my cat. This movie's pacing was very rushed. It was extremely fast, almost faster than my last relationship. And the action was really awkward. It wasn't necessarily action. It was more like they were flying around slapping each other. Not really flying. It was more like, oh, it was...
This is falling with style.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you get to watch Morbius PG-13 people to death?
To be honest with you, I could have saw a better action sequence in the Twilight movie when they're playing baseball. I will give it credit, though, that they did kind of see that their characters were moving a little bit too fast and the CGI surrounding them was a little bit too clunky, so there's in sections, just like in the Venom movie, where they would have slow motion segments where you can actually see exactly what's happening, where the characters are, so it kind of gives you just a little bit more grounding. But the fact is that only happens for a quick second, and it happens way too often, but the problem is instead of slowing it down like that, you should have just allowed everybody to be able to see and notice all the action. Hello? All the punches, all the action, all the slashes, all the scratches, all the flying, everything, every ground hit, you should have been able to see that very clearly rather than freeze framing it for just a few seconds, because that just makes it awkward. A lot of the focus on this movie was more so to build what Sony is trying to build. Their new universe surrounding the Marvel characters that are associated with Spider-Man, some size Venom, such as Venom, Spider-Man, obviously Morbius, and all these other characters that they have. Now Vulture is going to be a part of it, which you see in the end credit scene, which isn't really worth it. The ending is very, very rushed and quickly put together. There's a lot of open-ended questions making you know that the sequel will be inevitable, but also wondering how the story will go from here. Morbius himself is not a very fleshed out character entirely, and he seems a bit bland. All the characters surrounding him seem not good. Just bad. Maybe not great. The end credits scene bringing in the Vulture was very, very rushed. It was promoted in the trailers quite heavily that he was going to be a part of this movie. He actually wasn't at all. Kind of similar to how Venom was in Spider-Man No Way Home, where he just kind of appears in the end credits and then he's gone. But Vulture didn't really do a lot in this thing other than kind of be the Nick Fury of the Sinister Six or whatever the hell they're trying to do in this thing. So after all the things that I said, all the criticisms and everything bad that I have mentioned about this movie, what would I rate it? I would give it a 10 out of 10. I would watch this movie every single day of my life. I would directly inject this movie into my bloodstream if I could. This will be ingrained in my brain when they give microchips, so I could put it directly through my ear up into my cranial. I'm just kidding. I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. This is not funny. I'd actually give it I would have given it a 4 out of 10. But the thing is, I think I gave Eternals a 6 out of 10. But Morbius, I will give this. It is better than Eternals. It is not a terrible movie by far. It is watchable. It is bearable. But it's not a movie I would like to go back to anytime soon. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Tell me what y'all guys think in the comments down below. Did you like Morbius? Why did you like it? Did you hate it? Why did you hate it? Did I hit it spot on, or was I completely off and my opinion is incorrect? Let me know down there. If there's anything you guys want me to review, watch, anything from TV shows, movies, animes, mangas, anything like that, let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.